So this is your new Toyota van. So just kind of walking around it here. Let's see. I know you've seen the van already and everything, but just show just as nice as the pictures. Just a really, really clean, nice van. You'll see with your remotes on the Toyotas, when you unlock them, that only unlocks the driver's door. You have to hit it twice to unlock all the doors. So you always make sure it's unlocked before you try to open the side door. Now from outside, you simply will just push and hold the button until you hear the door click, and then you let go. So you'll see the door is going to open up, the ramp's going to come out, and the van is going to kind of kneel down on its own, get a little lower, makes the angle a little less steep for you getting in. So there you've got the ramp and everything. So you'll see inside you've got footrest back here, so people riding in the back can be a little more comfortable. Their feet aren't hanging up in the air. And you'll see you've got your two straps here and then two different straps here. And what you'll find is, and different people like to do these different ways. You can move those back here, there, whatever works for your situation and whatever makes you comfortable. You also have the easy lock that's underneath the chair there if you decide to have that installed on your chair. I don't know if you are or not. Of course, both of these chairs comes out. I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. And these right here, you'll see the easiest thing to do is get these adjusted so that when you bring your wheelchair in, you just hook them kind of loose, and then you use these two up here in the front. They have ratcheting on them, so you can tighten them up, and you just tighten everything up with that. So that way you're just releasing these two, and then these two just unhook. So it just makes it a little simpler to unhook the wheelchair when you're ready to get out. Again, all of this stuff will move. I don't know how familiar you are with this, but you'll see this just slides up. When this slides up, the whole thing slides and comes out. And then to put it back in, you just line up the holes, and then you can slide it till that pops in. I didn't do a good job of videoing that, but you'll see lift and slide. Unfortunately, it's a two-handed job. So, but again, and then to put it in, you just push in and slide until that pops back in. And same thing with these. You'll see this is a seat belt for when you're riding in the back. Again, you want the straps to hold the wheelchair, and then the seat belt to hold you. The front seat is a different size seat belt. So here is the seat belt for when you're riding. If you ride and you take this seat out, then you'll use this seat belt. You'll just hook it up in that track right there and use it for your seat belt there. Put this back in there. So just to kind of show you how this seat comes out, you'll want to take this out of the way. You'll see this will unscrew. You see it has top on the top there. There's only one way to put it in. You always want to put it here, and this is just simply a place to store it so you don't run over it and break it. You don't want to do that. I have a lot of stories about that. So that just puts it up out of the way. Then you'll see this little part here you step on. You'll just step on that. The whole seat will pop up. You'll hear it pop, and the wheels will come down. You'll see the wheels right there. Then the whole thing is on wheels. And it'll just roll out the door. So there's the whole seat out. You now have the ability in here. Again, you'll see you have places here and there that you can move those straps right there to. Also, you have a set of tracks right there, so you're able to adjust, depending on where you want to set your wheelchair. If you decide you want to use this, it keeps you from having to use the straps. They just put a bolt on your chair. It just kind of comes in here and locks in. That's what locks it in right there. This is the controller for it here. This will unlock it. You'll see now it's back open again. Now, I'm gonna have it tripped because what happens is when you have the van running, know if you can hear it, but there's a really annoying beep. That is just letting you know, hey, your wheelchair's not locked in. So normally you can just push this button here. That makes it be quiet. What I'm gonna do is I will trip this like that, so it thinks that it's locked all the time. So now it just thinks your wheelchair's in there. So when you start it, no beeping. But if anybody pushes this button, and again, that won't work when the van is running, so you don't have to worry about it. But when the van's turned off, it will. So once the van's turned off, you push it, that's gonna trip it. Now it's gonna beep again. So if somebody just accidentally trips it, you can come back and trip it yourself and not have to listen to it beep every time. You know, but again, that is that little deal right there. And you'll see you have a button here, you have a button up here on the roof, you have a button here on the side, and you have a button here on this side. All of those are going to do the same thing. They're going to either put the ramp up, unkneel the van, and shut the door, or open it, whichever one it's not. So you'll see that's going to do that there. We're going to do that again. Now you'll see these are your override switches. This switch here, you'll see will bring the ramp in. That's all it does. It's just an automatic to bring the ramp in. And this one here is going to unkneel. You'll hear it running, and you'll see the vans going back up. So those are just overrides in case something's not working correctly. There's a way to make things work. When you hear that loud, that lets you know the kneel is all the way up. Now if you push this to close the door, the ramp's gonna still come in the rest of the way, and the door will end up shutting. Everything will go back to normal. And you'll see your manual handle here if you have to manually open the door. Now with Toyotas, this is your on-off switch for the door. You'll see, you should be able to see a little bit of orange at the top. That means the door is working. If you push it in, that turns the door off. I get a panic phone call, all of a sudden power doors have stopped working. A lot of times this is what it is. It just accidentally got turned off and off. This is going to be your kneel. Say you're next to a really tall curb, you don't want it to kneel, you can turn it off. Again, all of a sudden your kneel stops working. I always check this switch first. A lot of times it just accidentally gets turned off. Here is another switch that'll, again, you push this and it will open the door, put the ramp out, and activate the kneel. So you've got, basically you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different buttons that do the same thing, and also then the remote, which is the 6th way to do it. So lots of different ways to do that. And you'll see the actual, you do have Bluetooth. Here's your controls for your radio and everything are here. Here's your controls for your phone once you pair it with the van. And the van does have tilt and cruise control, or tilt and telescoping on the steering wheel. That handle is just down here. And basic controls here for your air conditioning and everything like that. Radio is here, CD player. You'll see if you put the van into gear with the door and everything open and all, it's going to automatically close without even pushing a button. They just keep you from accidentally tearing something up and all. And you'll see there is your backup camera right there. So again, automatic stuff's there. See, ramp comes up, door doesn't automatically close. You'll have to then close that and all yourself. But again, keeps you from accidentally messing something up. Control for your driver's side door and your power hatch. And controls there, and then along with you'll see the hatch is going to open up, and this door over here opened up. Again, you've got those controls on your remote as well. So glove compartment has all your owner's manuals in here, so including, you'll see the controls for the conversion part of the van also. So, and then all the stuff on how all that works. Plus you have a second larger glove box down here. And I'll do have triple climate control front, or driver, passenger, and rear, and all is right there. And you'll see back here, you kind of want to keep your headrest down like this just so you can see out the back. The problem with when you put these up, you have all these up, looking out the back, you mostly just see the headrest. So a lot of people will just keep these folded down. Just makes it a little cleaner and a little easier to see outside. Now, these seats will fold down flat. So if, say, you need to carry something or anything like that, they do fold down completely flat like that. I'm gonna show you from the outside. So they will fold down like that, and just get out of your way. You'll see your spare tire and everything like that. Let me pull this out of the way. Your spare tire and everything is right there. And then over here in this corner is your jack and the tools. So to close the trunk here, button in the front, and then also, of course, once again, back on the remote control. One thing to watch for with Toyotas is the child safety lock is right here on these doors. It's just a little switch. A lot of times that will accidentally get hit. People going out the door, put their hand on there. People wiping it will flip it down. Again, that's just a panic phone call I get a lot. If you find all of a sudden when you go to push the door open, it just beeps at you, but it works from the outside, that lets you know, hey, maybe that got flipped down. Again, it's just a little flip button. It should be up. So one thing on these vans, if you just want to put something inside the van without putting the lift down, if you just pull this door like that, it just opens the door. It doesn't do anything else. That's the one way, opening the door, nothing else happens. You're just handing something in or anything like that. Of course, you could put a window down too, but and then again, you just pull the handle the same way and the door closes. Overall, that's the van. Any questions, please feel free to give me a call.